Olga? All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start class now, so whoever can join in, they will. Testing. I think I got kicked out of Zoom. Hold on. I'm connecting. Okay, I think I got kicked out. All right, Joseph and Olga, can you hear me now? I think I got kicked out. Hello. Okay. Oh, I keep getting kicked out. What's going on? Testing. Olga, can you guys hear me? I think I got kicked out again.
Yes.
Okay, we're good to go? Hi everyone. Welcome to yoga. My name is Jamie and I will be leading practice for the next 45 minutes. I'm so glad you're all here today. For our practice, we are focusing on opening up the hips and the shoulders and even using our core to strengthen. So as soon as you're ready, we'll be using just a mat today, but if you'd like, you can even grab a blanket, maybe some blocks. We'll start off in child's pose. If you're not quite familiar with child's pose, we'll start off with your knees wider than your hips. Now this should be somewhat comfortable. So I would say knees wider than the hips. Let the hips sit back towards your heels and you'll extend your arms forward. Now if you are here and this is not quite comfortable on your knees, you might even place your blanket below both legs. So we'll start off hips back, forehead to mat, and use this time to really lengthen the spine as you focus on your breath. We'll let the inhale come through our nose, expand into the back, expand into the waist, and exhale out through our nose if you're not congested. Let's try that again. Inhale through your nose, expanding in all dimensions, from waist, forward, back, side to side, and exhale, air exits the body. On this next breath, take this time and set your intention for practice. Now this intention might be physical, it might be mental. Use this as a guide of where you want to reference throughout our class today. And as you exhale, we'll slowly roll our way from child's pose into a tabletop position. That's flat back. So your hands are below your shoulders, your knees are below your hips. We'll start off with the inhale, belly down, heart open. Feel the stretch in your waist. Think camel posture. On exhale, drop the head, round the back. Now we're gonna add some breath to this. Inhale, belly down. On exhale, we'll round. Let's find a neutral spine. That means flat back. So here we go, hips and shoulders aligned. From here, we take inhale, we stay still. On exhale, you'll relax your jaw, lion's breath. To make this a true lion's breath, I invite you, you don't have to extend your tongue. As you inhale through your nose, body stays still. As you exhale, extend through the tongue. Now this breath comes from the back of the throat. It's a strong exhale. It uses your core. But more importantly for today, you're going to relax the muscles in your jaw, in your neck. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, body stays still. Exhale, lion's breath. And you can hang out here for a while longer if that feels comforting into the jaw, into the neck. On this next breath, let's keep the hips right above the knees and extend your arms forward. Lazy puppy pose. You might stay right here. If there's space, you might even draw your torso toward the earth. Forehead to the mat. Now what I'm looking to do here is lengthen through my underarms. It might feel like your armpits. Now those are your rotator cuff muscles. You want to feel length here. We slowly walk the hands right back into tabletop. So we'll stay here planted, hands right below shoulders, knees below hips. Go ahead and pick up your right knee. I'm mirroring you today. My left, your right, my left. So as you pick up your right knee off the earth, I invite you to rotate inward. So whatever inward means for you. And don't worry, we will go into both directions. So if you're on a different side, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and take that same knee and we'll move outward. So what we are exploring here is rotation of the hip. And our hip should be able to move somewhat freely. The circles that you make might be larger or smaller than mine. Just focus on what feels good. Let's switch legs. Inhale, left knee off the earth, inward circles. Still trying to maintain that neutral spine. And we'll go ahead and move that knee outward. And if I'm doing this posture, you want to do this for a while longer or do it for last time, that's okay. Let's go ahead and place that knee down. We'll do the same thing with the shoulders. Now there are a couple ways to do this. You might take your right hand off the earth and take small circles, or you can swim it around. They're both great. And it's not black or white. You can really change the direction. You can really change the size of the circle and outward. Let's do that with the opposite arm. Inward. And we'll take it outward. All right, from here, let's go ahead and find that tabletop. Hands below shoulders. Let's step 1 foot back at a time. Now this is plank position. We'll come back here every so often throughout our practice today. So hands firmly below shoulders, strong through the core. And we'll even lift the hips from here to get to downward facing dog. And when you're here, you might really enjoy the stretch that's happening behind your legs. Those are your hamstring muscles. Maybe you bend one knee at a time. And what you might feel are the calves as well, your lower leg. And on this next breath, go ahead and move your head. Let's loosen up that neck. You might even nod in a different direction. You might shake it out. On your next inhale, go ahead and come up onto your tippy toes. Do you feel the stretches in your feet? On exhale, push into the heels, stretching the back of the legs. Let's do that again. Inhale, tippy toes, hello midfoot. Exhale, into the heels. On your next breath, inhale up onto those toes once more. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, walk your feet to handstanding forward fold. Let your head look down completely for a moment. So the back of your neck, your cervical spine can loosen up. On this next breath, I invite you to roll your way up, ever so slowly. And take a moment to come into what's called mountain pose, Tadasana, and extend those arms. feet grounded. Your toes might be touching, your thighs might be close together. If that's not quite comfortable, you're welcome to have your feet wider. But for a reference point, think close and strong. On this next breath, let's inhale both arms up, way overhead. Feel that length through the fingertips. As you exhale, go ahead and swan dive down into a forward fold. As you inhale, come up halfway. Feel your core strengthen. Feel the back of your legs long. Exhale, hands below shoulders. Step 1 foot back at a time. From your plank position, we'll go ahead and descend down to the mat. On this next breath, cobra. From here, body back down. We'll modify this first option so your shoulders, your hips move at the same rate. We'll push away with the elbows tucked in and come on into a downward facing dog. On this next breath, inhale your left leg high to the sky. Again, I am mirroring you. From here, take that left knee all the way to your left shoulder, using our core to start off practice today. Movement with breath. Inhale, left leg high again. Same leg, we haven't switched. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, using the core. And again, inhale that same left leg high. We're gonna stay floating. Take that left knee towards the left wrist. Hover against the floor. From here, inhale that left leg nice and high. On this exhale, take that left knee off toward your right elbow. So from here, we're going to kick the leg off our mat, falling triangle. Go ahead and take your right hand and lift. It's a side plank variation. If this is bothersome to your wrist, you might come down to your forearms. Lift those hips high, extend through that arm. Feel the core engage. We'll slowly drop those hips down. Bend both knees, 90 degrees in the front leg, 90 degrees in the back leg. Now from here, I'd like to take both hands behind my back. You don't have to go very far. This is going to be internal rotation of your back hip. So from here, you might feel that hip open up length, feeling the quadricep stretch. You might even come on down to your forearms. If that's too deep, you might come back to your hands. So again, you are totally in control of the level of which we're working at, all right? So from here, if you do feel this in your knees, don't go as far down. We slowly work our way up. So we are using both sides of our mats today in different ways. So if you want to change your mat, you totally can. With both knees, we're gonna do a little flip. I just windshield wiped to the other side. So all I did was take my legs and I windshield wiped to a different side. From here, go ahead and take both hands in front of your right leg. This is a 90-degree stretch. If you've practiced yoga before, you might recall something similar to a pigeon pose, very similar, but not quite. As we practice what's called external rotation of the hip, we feel maybe underneath our hamstring, we feel maybe a different kind of opening in our body. From here, we'll slowly sit our torso upright. So now you're probably on a different side of the mat. That's where we want to be for now. Go ahead and place both hands below your shoulders and work your way back into a plank position. Any way you want to get there. From plank, go ahead and bring your body back down to the mat. On this inhale, if you want to take this a step further, hands below shoulders, upward facing dog. Feeling the stretch in the front of your body. Chin up towards the sky. Neck long. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we are facing a different side of the mat early on in practice today. If and when you're willing, go ahead and inhale. That right leg high to the sky. Again, I am mirroring you. Exhale, take that right knee to right shoulder. Core strength. As we inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Floating. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee towards that right wrist, hovering. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. And on exhale, knee to opposite elbow. Kick leg off here. And here we are, fallen triangle. So now that leg of yours off your mat, probably onto the earth, onto the floor. That leg or the arm might be up high. If you wish, bottom arm can come on down to your forearm. From fallen triangle, we drop those hips, bend both knees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. I'm going to take both hands behind my back. No need to go further unless you wish to deepen that stretch. Then we scoop those hips forward and come on down, maybe onto our forearms. And your knees do not have to touch the floor. That's a question I often get asked. Do my knees have to hit the floor? Absolutely not. Making sure that you feel safe, that you do feel opening. As you breathe, From here, we slowly roll our way up. So with the legs, I'm going to windshield wipe. So both knees off towards the first side of my mat that I started on. Hands right in front of the lower leg, 90-degree stretch. Like pigeon, but not quite. We'll get there a little bit later today. So what we're doing here is we are, if you will, warming up the hips for more postures to come. A lot of rotations today. If and when you're ready, go ahead and work your way slowly upright. We're back to the top of our mat, hands below shoulders, and step left like that. From your plank position, you can choose whether to come down slowly or quickly. Your cobra or upward facing dog. Find your way back to downward facing dog. On inhale, up onto your tippy toes. On exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, walk or hop your feet to hands halfway lift. And roll your way down. Shake out that head, feel the neck loosen. Then we slowly roll our way up one joint at a time. Meet me in Tadasana, mountain pose. From here, we start to the top of the float. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Where is that length? Exhale, swan dive into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And on exhale, this is up to you. Do you wish to take option one? Come on down. Cobra. Or option two. Either way, we'll meet in downward facing dog. From here, find a nice even position with your footing. Feet are about hips width distance. Now, when I go into three-legged dog, what I like to do is take maybe your right foot, come to center, and then we'll take your left leg way up high. Three-legged dog. On exhale, step that left foot through. It is high crescent lunge. Here we are in high crescent lunge. When you pick the arms up overhead, I know the tendency is to wish to arch, but instead, let's keep our core engaged. Shoulders are right above the hips, feeling that hip pocket open. With the arms up overhead, we'll slowly take the hands to heart center. With the right trailing leg, we slowly lift up into a hip flex position. Here we are. With that dangling leg, we stay focused and strong through the midsection, tall through the crown of our head, pushing into that standing leg, lifting with the floating leg. From here, we take our balanced posture today, both hips driving back. This is warrior three. Now as we get into this next flow, what I invite you to do here is to think about weight distribution. In a posture like warrior three, 100% of your weight is in the standing leg. On this next breath, we'll slowly come on back to lift it. Now if you wish, you can take a little breather with your foot down at the mat or back up to lift it. On this second round, I invite you to add on with me. We inhale nice and tall through the crown of our head. As you exhale, hips back, hinge back, warrior three. Now with your right floating leg, notice toes are flexed, not pointed like a ballerina, but flexed like a sprinter. Then we take this trailing leg, your right leg, around, external rotation, as if you're climbing over a hurdle. If you wish, you can take a pause at the bottom of the mat, or stay floating. Core engaged. Let's try that again. One more time. Inhale, tall, through the crown of your head. As you exhale, hips back, hinge back, warrior three. Taking that floating leg around, over the hurdle, balance, high hurdle, or low hurdle, up to you. Stay floating or touching. Then we slowly take it back one more time. Off through the crown of our head, we're just going to hold warrior three, no need to rotate. And from here, come on down into a standing split. Hands can come to blocks, hands might come to the earth. Your leg, your standing leg, might even have a bend. So be mindful that there are a lot of ways to modify this posture, scale this posture, based on your length and flexibility. Go ahead and take that right leg back into high crescent lunge once more. And on exhale, with your heel lifted, we're just going to place it down to about a 45-degree angle. Arms lifted, warrior one. From here, both arms behind your back. You can float those arms. You can take the arms to a fist, or fist to fist, or palm to palm. Feeling the heart open and length through the front of your body. Exhale, drop your head down into humble warrior. The crown of your head dropping down, your hands up. Feeling internal rotation of both shoulders and strength into both legs. On this next breath, inhale both arms back up warrior one. On exhale, turn your body towards your right. This is warrior two. So in warrior two, we do want to get those legs quite wide. I'd say ankles below wrist if that's available for you. From here, you might notice that toes, your front toes, are going off to one direction and opposite toes to the other. Arms nice and long. My meeting should start. Ooh, am I back on? On this next breath, we slowly straighten that front leg. Exhale, and we bend. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, bend with the knee. Staying strong through your legs. With that top arm, inhale, reaching forward. And exhale, reverse that warrior. On this next breath, extended side angle. In extended side angle, you might feel length on one side of the body. Actively push into both feet. Let's try that again. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, extended side angle. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. With that top right arm floating, go ahead and take it behind your back. Internal rotation here. You might stay here with that left arm. You might even come underneath your body and grab. And as you're holding with the bind, your hands might touch. If that feels like a little too much, then you might even just have your arms floating. So no problem here. On this next breath, we'll extend that arm again. Come on back into warrior two. Inhale, straighten that left leg, and we hinge forward. Windmill both hands down towards the earth, and we'll take this to a lateral lunge. Let's take both toes off to the corner of the mat, and here we are. We might stay nice and high, or drop those hips low. And we'll slowly switch to the other side. You can choose to stay high, or drop those hips low. And we'll take this one more time off to the other side, taking it nice and high, and then go ahead and drop your hips. Am I muted? Okay, stay where you are. I think I've been getting kicked out. Unmute myself. Sorry, y'all. Glad you're back. Okay, so we're still here. You are on your left hip down towards the earth. So anywhere you want to get there, from standing or from seated, go ahead. Stand back up, sit back down, or from lunge, fall onto your hips. So any way you want to get there, find this position. Left knee hugging into your chest, right leg long. Now with that left knee, we're going to point inward, just like we did at the very start of practice. Internal rotation of the hip. If you wish, you might even scoot your hips forward so you have more space in both legs. So here we are, left knee bent behind our body, right leg long and toes flex. On your inhale, bring both arms up. As you exhale, you might lean slightly. If there's space, you might lean even further. So here we feel the side of our body open up. That right leg extending into the hamstrings and rotation through our thoracic spine. On this next breath, we slowly roll our way up and take that long right leg into a bend. From here, I'm going to bend all the way to that 45-degree angle, pigeon pose, turning your body off to the opposite side of our mat. So we were here at the beginning of practice, if you recall, when we did our windshield wiping stretches. You can sit upright, or you can fold your body on down into pigeon pose. Forehead might even come all the way down to your forearms or to your mat. So as you allow yourself to feel opening in that outside hip of your right leg, making sure there's no pressure in that knee. Give yourself a few breaths here. And we slowly sit our hands below shoulders. With that trailing left leg, bring it all the way around, and you're going to place it right above the bottom leg. So we're using your own leg as a prop. So left leg right on top of right. You can sit upright. I'm going to do a slight lean. There's no need to fold my body entirely forward if it's not available. If there's space, then maybe I lean further and even further than that. So you take your pick on how far you wish to lean. So again, this bottom foot right here is going to act as a prop. so that I don't hyperextend this long leg. On this next breath, I slowly roll my way up, bending at both knees, scooting my hips forward, and find your way down onto your back for one inhale. As you exhale, work your way up into a flow. You might start at plank. You might come down slowly or quickly. Find your breath then. And eventually back in to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, head through both arms. We inhale up onto the tippy toes. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, walk your feet to hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, into a fold. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center and arms off to the side. Let's start the flow for the second side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you exhale, slowly or quickly, modified or not, find that flow. And we work our way back into a downward facing dog. As you inhale, that right leg high to the sky. Exhale, right foot through, high crescent lunge. Now again, in your high crescent lunge, keeping that core nice and strong, avoiding the arch, but instead, engagement. Shoulders right above the hips. We'll take those arms up overhead. On this next breath, hands to heart center, and lift up that left leg off the earth. You might be tapping or lifting. With an inhale through the crown of our head, we lift. Exhale, hips back. Feeling warrior three. On this next breath, come on back to center. So you might choose to revisit with the toes down every time, or we're lifting. We're doing that again. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, hips back. Warrior three. And we're going to take that back leg. Can we find it over the hurdle? Rotation. Let's try that again. Taking it tall through the crown of our head. Inhale. Exhale. Warrior three. Swinging that leg over that imaginary hurdle. Low or high. One more time with this warrior three. Inhale, we're lifting. And on exhale, hips back, you can hold. And we eventually find our way down to standing splits. With that left leg lifted, find your way. High crescent lunge. On inhale, arms are up, back heel lifted. And on exhale, push that back heel down. Warrior one. Arms extended, hips facing forward. We'll slowly take both arms behind our back, floating, fist to fist or palm to palm. And we'll find our way down folded. From humble warrior, head long, neck long. We slowly roll our way back up. Warrior one. Inhale, arms long. Exhale, turn your body towards your left. This is warrior two. So on warrior two, again, ankles right underneath the wrist, strong through the arms. Think about toes going in one direction and your other toes going in perpendicular direction. From here, both weight into both feet. Inhale, forward. Exhale, we reverse. On inhale, extended side angle. So we want to feel rotation into our shoulders like we felt early on. And again, lengthen. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. One more time. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. With that top arm, you might take it behind your back and leave it, or you can even add a little bit of a bind with the bottom hand as well. Now, as you're binding, recall that we want to rotate our heart upward, our neck even upward. Unless it's bothersome, then you'll look down. We'll slowly release the arms. Back into warrior two. And we inhale, straighten that front leg. From here, bend a little. Exhale, straighten. And again. Inhale, bend a little. Exhale, straighten. We'll windmill both arms all the way down. Take your toes off to the corner. And we find ourselves into side lunge on one side. From here, we switch off to the other. And we'll slowly work our way back to the first side. Any way you want to get there from standing, you can come onto your seat, or from lunge, come on and have a seat down. Hugging that knee tightly into your body, we're going to go into an internal rotation. So take that knee, we point inward. Leg long with the left side. You might even scoot your hips. As we inhale, both arms reaching overhead. As we exhale, off to that front long leg. Toes are flexed back towards your face. We can go further if there's space. On this next breath, we slowly work our way back up to center. Hands down to the side. With that long leg, we're going to take it to a full-on bend, pigeon pose, off to the front side of our mat. So in this front side of our mat, hips are even towards each other. Outer hip on that bent leg, staying nice and tall, or folding our way down. You can be onto your forearms, so forehead to forearms, or long through both arms. On this next breath, we roll our way up. With that right trailing leg, we're going to swing it all the way around on top of the bottom leg. Again, our bottom leg is a prop today. You can sit tall with a slight lean or fold all the way, if that's available. Feeling that strong flexing through your front leg. And as we let our hamstrings open, give yourself a chance to breathe through the posture, especially where you feel it to be somewhat tight. Work your way up to seated, releasing both legs. Reverse your way down onto your mat, laying down, extending the arms. On exhale, find your way back into your flow. From plank position, you might fold on down, back bend, and work your way into downward facing dog. On this next breath, inhale up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend both knees. And walk your feet to your hands. Standing forward fold. Let your body sway side to side. On this next breath, we roll our way up slowly into a mountain pose. So go ahead and find your way to the center of your mat. You might even face completely forward. From here, we'll have our feet wider than our hips, toes pointing outward. You might drop your hips back about halfway. This is Malasana. If there's space, you might drop your hips all the way through. I think I get kicked out of Zoom a lot today. So as you keep your hips grounded, as you keep your hips grounded, we'll keep our heels down, torso nice and tall. As we inhale, we hold. As we exhale, stand nice and tall. On inhale, drop your hips back down. On exhale, ascend. As we inhale, take it down low. As we exhale, ascend. Let's come on down one more time. And we'll take our hands down to the earth and roll our way up. Hips high, hands down. Find your way into mountain pose standing. On this next breath, slowly walk your feet out wider than your hips. If it's available, you might even go wider than that. Toes pointed inward from here. As we inhale, heart open. As we exhale, hips hinging back. You might stay at halfway or bring your hands below your shoulders. From here, keeping your left hand down. Inhale, right arm open. Rotation through the mid-back. On this next breath, right hand down, left arm up. And from here, taking your hands down, back towards the earth. On this next breath, go ahead and stay where you are. Unmute. Thanks, Joseph. I think I keep getting kicked out today.
Huh?
I keep getting kicked out today, is that right?
One more time, you cut out.
Am I getting kicked out of Zoom a lot today?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'll keep on going to finish the class and see if it's being recorded, if that helps. So we'll take it from here. Hands down towards the earth. Take your right hand down, left arm open towards the sky. Feeling that rotation through your mid-back. And we'll try it again to the first side in case we missed it. We'll slowly take both hands down below shoulders. And what I'm going to do here is I'll place both knees onto my mat. So think child's pose, but wider. If your knees do get sensitive, I do recommend placing a blanket underneath both knees. Let's go ahead and widen out the knees as wide as available to you. Frog pose. This is going to open up through the groin, the inner thighs. With your hands grounded, or even onto your forearms, we take a breath. To increase this stretch, instead of pushing downward towards the earth, push your hips backward towards your heels. And here we open up the muscles called the adductors, the muscles that allow us to move our knees and our legs inward. From here, we slowly take our hands below shoulders, work our way back up, hands outside, feet outside of our hands, and we roll our way up. And from here, feet outside the width of your hips, we take it back down to squat one more time, whether hips are high, whether hips are low. As we inhale, take your left arm up towards the sky. On exhale, hands to center. We'll switch sides. Inhale your right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, back to center. You're welcome to do that again, or we add on. Inhale, left arm up over. On exhale, arm behind the back with half of a bind. Now if there's space with your right hand, you might go underneath one leg for another bind. So take what's available to you. We slowly reverse our way back and into heart center. Inhale your right arm up. You can take one half a bind or a full bind. And again, we reverse. Hands to heart center and roll your way up in a very comfortable fashion. Heel toe your feet together. And any way you wish to get there, find your way onto your back. And as we start off on our back today, in these laying postures, what I invite you to do first is to get those shoulders away from your ears, to practice unshrugging and to loosen up through your cervical spine. What we'll do from here is take our feet wider than our hips. Very similar to our 90-degree stretches at the start of our class today. We'll inhale, knees off to one side. Exhale, knees off to the other side. Let's try that again. Inhale, knees off to one direction. Exhale, knees off to the other direction. We're going to slowly bring our feet back to center and slowly extend both legs up to the sky. We'll start with the ankles first. Go ahead and roll those ankles outward. So this is very similar to the rotations we did with our hips and with our shoulders. On this next breath, go ahead and roll those ankles inward. From here, we bend at both knees and separate the knees, moving the knees outward. So this might feel pretty familiar. And we move those knees inward. On this next breath, we take figure four. So go ahead and take the legs up high to the sky. Again, I am mirroring you. Take your right knee for a bend, ankle above the left knee. You might hold, or you might interlace and grab the thigh. Pull inward towards your body, feeling the outer hip open. Now, what is different about this posture is maybe we feel a deeper stretch than we do pigeon pose, because we can pull a little closer. If it feels like too much, you might extend your arms. So again, you choose the level at which you wish to open. On this next breath, we slowly release. Let's try the other leg. Left ankle above the right knee. Interlace and grab the thigh. You might stay still or pull inward towards your body. And what you can do here is even compare and contrast. Which posture resonates better with you? Is it the postures where you're on your back? Or do you like the pressure of your own body weight to get a deeper stretch? There are many right ways to do this. Really slowly release. From here, taking both feet right below our knees, and arms can be down to the side. On this first breath, squeezing the glutes, lift the hips high. Now with the hips high, I might have my arms long. If you wish to make this an even deeper back bend, you can walk the shoulders underneath your upper back and take your hands to interlace. Feeling the stretch in the front of your body, from thighs to waist to shoulders. And from here, we slowly release from hands, joint by joint. And we take the knees into chest, a little counter. So we'll try that again, another back bend. Perhaps this time, if you feel compelled, you can even go a little deeper in that back bend. Let's take those heels, below knees. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, and exhale, shoulders down. Inhale, hips up to the sky. Exhale, hands interlace. Actively pushing into both feet, keeping your head grounded, keeping your muscles engaged and contracted. Slowly, slowly release at the hands and drop your body joint by joint. Go ahead and bring those knees into your body once more, moving it clockwise to loosen up the lower back. And moving the knees counterclockwise to release up the lower back. And from here, we go into a little bit of a twist. So again, I am mirroring you. Go ahead and take your right leg long, left knee into chest. You'll hold tightly. And what you can do is take your left knee in so much that you even cross your body. So your lower back gets a twist, but your shoulders stay down. Your arms might even extend to deepen the posture. I'll take my head and bring it over. So you're looking over your left shoulder. On this next breath, we slowly work our body back to center, our legs back to center, and we release. From here, we inhale, opposite knee into chest, holding tightly, you can stay, or we twist across our body, hips swiveling over, turning your head over your right shoulder. And as you look far enough, you might even feel length and a stretch into your neck. So we're looking for a couple of different things here. Hip opening, lower back decompression, opening through the shoulders, and even through our neck. And let's go ahead and slowly reverse. Hips to center, head to center. And from here, both legs come up. We're going into happy baby. I might grab at my lower leg if that's what's available. Maybe the ankles if I feel like I can reach it, or even the big toe. You can grab your big toe, grab your big toes. And we'll pull the knees out wider than our body. And we'll pull both knees downward towards the mat. So this is happy baby pose, feeling the groin open. Now we were in a posture quite similar today, so if you feel like there's space, you might straighten your legs. From here, we'll cross your left thigh over your right and bend. You can stay here and hug the shin bones in toward your body, or you might grab at your feet. So we're opening that outer hip pocket on your top hip. From here, we'll do the exact same thing, other leg on top. We release and switch, bending at the knees, grabbing the shins, or grabbing the feet. Slowly release those legs. From here, I invite you to do any posture that maybe we didn't get a chance to do today, or come on with me as we lie on down into Shavasana. This is where you relax every single muscle. You might even close your eyes. Imagine melting onto your mat. And even letting go of a deep breath. Now in our practice, you might choose to stay here a lot longer. Or begin to take that awareness into your toes. Wiggle them. Take that attention to your fingertips and wiggle. maybe bringing both arms up overhead. And turn your body off towards the side. And you'll gently press yourself away from the earth, coming into a seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. The light in me honors the light inside each and every one of you. Namaste. Joseph, thank you for moderating.